episode of Musical Chairs with me, Cheer Up Charlie. And today we have the amazing, the wonderful, he really, really wants Veronica to open that door. He's the brains behind MTFest. And he's just all round incredible, the amazing, the wonderful, Taylor Mills, everybody!
Look at that introduction. Charlie, I want you to follow me around everywhere I go and give that kind of warm introduction everywhere I go, because I feel like I just have a better day.
Said that to me.
Really? I would just like you on my shoulder like a parrot, just to like literally follow me around everywhere. And I think the world would just be a better place. It would just be so much more fun if I just walked into a room and you gave that kind of introduction.
Yep, I guess so. So if you're ready, I'll get straight into the questions.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So I've sang for as long as I could speak. Generally from then, not very good, but I have sang. So were you born with an artistic director's hat on?
No, I was born with an actor's hat on. And I would get bored and I'd get really impatient and I'd get naughty and mischievous. And I suddenly realized actually what I would prefer to do would be the person kind of sat behind the desk that was casting shows, marketing shows, putting the right people there. And then over time did smaller shows that basically then turned into bigger shows. But I thought I wanted to act, but I would have been a terrible, terrible actor. Awful.
So what age did you decide that the arts was going to become your career?
I reckon I was probably about 9 or 10. How old are you now?
I'm 12. Just turned 12.
Okay, yeah. When did you know?
I think about the same time as you just said, about 9 or 10.
Yeah, I would say when I was about 9 or 10. But I came from a really small town where there wasn't necessarily access to loads of art. So I did loads of amateur dramatics because obviously it was the cheapest way of getting involved. And I loved my time back with the Kidderminster Operatic and Dramatic Youth section. We did Godspell, we did Little Shop, we did West Side Story. Awesome. I had the time of my life. I had the time of my life.
All amazing shows. All incredible shows. Yeah, so my mum's very strict about my education, as both my parents are very, very academic. So the arts is really not in my DNA. So
say that again, dear.
Were your family from an arts background?
No. My dad was a labourer, which basically means would like make houses, and my mom was and still is a hairdresser. So not at all. And so, as I said, from a kid from a small town, you don't really know. You don't have access to art. You don't know how to get into it, which is kind of why I probably wasted many, many years as an actor, because that's all I saw. I didn't know what anyone else did. And my mum was cutting someone's hair, Jackie, and she said to Jackie, "Oh, I think Paul should be in the shows. I think he should be in the musicals." And Jackie happened to be a member of the Adult Amateur Dramatic Society. I said, "Well, bring him along to Coddies," as it was called, which is the youth society. And then my obsession with musicals and theatre and entertaining people really snowballed. And it's interesting because I think we owe a lot to those amateur dramatic society in the regions, because I guess they provide so much joy to so many people that perhaps do other things.
They let you, and a lot of the time they let you know that this is actually something you love doing and you want to progress doing it more.
Very that. That's absolutely right.
Even if you go to one and you know that it's not something that you want to do in the future as like a job, it's still there. If you enjoy it, it's still there as a hobby, as something fun.
Exactly, and gives you a bit of an outlet, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So, as you've already mentioned, you started off doing local amateur dramatics. What made you? Oh gosh, I think you've already answered this question.
Go on, I'll try and give a more elaborate answer.
What made you decide producing and directing was the route you wanted to take rather than in front of the camera?
Classic me. I always answer the question before someone's asked me it. That's a classic producer thing to do. Do you know what it is? I think it was like, I think my mum would probably say it was stubbornness. I would say it was the fact that I just I hate being told what to do. I still hate being told what to do. I'm very independent.
Well, it's your
and
job not to be told what to do now.
Exactly. That doesn't mean I always have the answer when people ask me the questions. But I guess, it was interesting before we started speaking today, because people always want to talk about shows like Heathers and In the Heights, and actually looking back on those shows, really successful people told me not to do them and said that they wouldn't work, and people that I look up to. And if I hadn't been stubborn, they wouldn't have happened, So I think you have to keep a hold of your stubbornness and know when it's good to be stubborn and not, but also be open to believing the things that you do.
Yeah, definitely.
That didn't answer your question at all, did it? It spoke about something else.
No, but you've already answered the question.
That's also a classic producer thing to do. Change the topic.
You've already answered the question. It's like a bit of other questions.
Exactly.
Yeah, it worked. It worked.
It worked.
Tell me about the wonderful relationship you have with one of my idols, the incredible Andrew Lloyd Webber.
He is an idol. He's a genius.
He's amazing.
So he is, and I have had and have a brilliant relationship with Andrew, and he gave me a really big lift up onto that ladder early on in my career, and I'm now sat in the theatre that I used to run for him, and I think it's fair to say we learned a huge amount about musicals in this country and about how to grow musicals and about and I remained in contact with him, and he's an incredible, he's a genius. We've got him to thank for lots. Yeah, we've got him to thank for lots of some of the best musicals of the last, how many years is it? You'll know this. 30? 20? Is it longer?
I think it might be 30, yeah.
Do you know what? It might be even more.
It might be.
I think Joseph was the first one. I think Joseph.
We're not trying to make you look or seem.
He will be watching this. He now has social media. I'll make sure he watches it. What's your favourite Andrew Lloyd Webber musical?
We promise.
I should know, though, because I worked with him for 3 years, so I definitely should know. What's your favourite Andrew Lloyd Webber musical?
Oh, don't do that to me.
I'm doing it.
No, that's naughty. Don't do that. Probably his most recent, Cinderella.
You like Cinderella? Do you like Carrie Hope Fletcher? We love Carrie.
Yeah, she's so cool. So I'm still waiting to win my first Blue Peter badge. Yeah, you're quite greedy, and I've won, most awards that are possible. Although I can now call myself.
All I do want is a Blue Peter badge, though. That's really all I want.
That's all I want. I'm yet to receive one. I'm
sure we could speak to some people to sort this out.
Yeah, definitely. Although I am quite proud of myself, I can call myself a multi-award winner this year. But how incredible!
Yay!
So, how incredible does it make you feel that all of your incredibly hard work is recognised in this way?
Oh, that's lovely of you to say, first of all. But do you know what? You have to keep reminding yourself, particularly over the last couple of years, where it's been even harder to make shows and to do the job we do. I mean, it's an honour, and I'll never forget some of the incredible awards I've won, and I have to keep reminding myself, because you need a lot of determination and passion and resilience working in theatre, in any job in theatre. So it is so nice that it's recognised on a platform such as the What's on Stage Awards and the Oliviers and all the other awards that I've been so lucky to have. The real magic for me, and the real reason I do it is, say a show like Heathers, as I'm sat in the tech box at the back of the theatre, there's lots of really beautiful stories where people will grab me and they'll tell me how many times they've seen the show and what it means to them. And, a family traveling down from Glasgow every single time we have a new cast change, and all of those kind of things. And whilst the awards are amazing and they look great on my mantelpiece, and all of my friends have photos of them when they're drunk, that's great. Don't drink. But the the real gold dust for me, and the thing that makes me so happy is hearing those stories about people that adore the shows and that resonate with them so much.
Yeah, definitely. So, how did it feel when you were asked to become the artistic director of the other palace and then getting to bring Heathers there, which has some very special people to me performing in it currently?
Ah, well, I've obviously been the artistic director here before, so I'd be lying if I didn't say that I was a bit cautious and worried and scared. Being an artistic director is hard. You know, it's really hard. You're given a lot of responsibility, and you're managing people, you're managing expectations and emotions, and you're trying to develop an audience and have a certain kind of narrative going through the program. And you know, having set up other theatres like the Turbine Theatre, I know what that means, and I take that responsibility really seriously. And it's terrifying, exciting, and an honour. And I know that I'm in a really privileged position, and I'm really, really lucky to have an incredible team at both of my theatres that keep me in check. And you know, it's so lovely to have a show like Heathers here, which for the time being just has brought us a little bit of time to kind of tread carefully and work out what we do with this incredible theatre.
Yeah, definitely. So, what's your most memorable moment today? You must have loads, but does one really, really stand out to you?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think going back to your earlier question about, you know, the winning an award, and there are just moments. I mean, as a producer, there are highs and there are big lows, and so there's lots of lows that I could bore you with all day, but they're not very interesting. They're very sad. But I think the night that In the Heights won those Olivier's, and I think I was 26 at the time, and to be honest, I was just happy to put on a nice posh suit and go to the I think it was the where was it, Royal Opera House, and we didn't think we were going to win. We just put on a nice suit, and it just completely took me by surprise. And it is fair to say that from that night my life did change. That was the pivoting point, I think. And as I said, I feel so blessed that I have that memory. It might never happen again.
Just a quick question, because it's something that I've always wondered, and now I've got the time to ask it. It's not even on my questions list.
Go for it.
But like, what happens when show wins an award? Like, who gets the award?
Good question. Well,
Like,
so in theory, so if it's like Drew McConey won the what do they call it? Best choreography? Is it best choreography? So Drew will get that one, and David Badella won for best supporting actor in a musical. So David would get that one. If it's like outstanding achievement in music, or best new musical, or best revival, then all of the producers, the lead producers on the show, will get one. So for In the Heights, Lin-Manuel has one because it's his music. Tris has one, Tristan, who's my co-producer, and I have one. So there was 3. So we all get one.
Okay. I was like, who gets it? That's really confusing. It confused me.
We take it in turns. It's like a child. We take it in turns. Every weekend we swap.
Wow. You must go to America every weekend, every other weekend.
I know. Yeah, it's a complicated relationship, but we make it work.
Mail your child in a bag.
They are like little children. It's like having a little child that we have to look after. We all get one. It was really, really lovely, actually. So if it's a not general award, that's the wrong word, but if it's one of those kind of awards, it isn't for a specific person, then we all get one, which is lovely.
Yeah. Well, my awards are currently like hanging on my wall because they're.
Yeah. Well, you need to get a bigger wall, because I've got a feeling it's going to fill up very quickly for you.
So you're the brains behind MTFest, which showcases so much new talent. But what made you start this?
I think it's because I wanted people to see that audiences are an integral part to the way a new musical is developed, or a musical. And I use the word new in the broadest of senses. So it can be a musical that perhaps has a life somewhere, but is going to have a new life. And I just wanted audiences to be a part of that journey, and to see that their reactions to certain moments was going to be crucial in terms of how that musical develops.
So social media now plays a huge part of our lives, and I see the effect daily it has on us. My generation is very reliant on it, and I know that the positives it has had on my campaign, on my profile, but I also see the negatives. I get trolled and told I'm a nobody and to go kill myself and other things, those type of things that people just say or type because whatever reason. And it's such a powerful tool that you can use in either the best way possible or a really bad way. So, and it's one I definitely think that I will just continue to grow on and hope I will. So, have you ever suffered from online abuse? And do you think that it's something that we just have to accept now?
No, I don't think you ever have to accept it. I think you have to, I get it on a daily, hourly basis too. I think what you have to do is, unfortunately, it is the world, and it makes me sad, and it makes me so sad to hear someone like yourself, so young and has your future ahead of you, that you have to deal with that. And as I said, you don't have to deal with it. What you have to do is make sure you keep good people around you that you can talk to about it, but develop a little bit of an exterior about it, and remember that it's not real. It's not real life. We all have passions and things that excite us and get us up in the morning, that we feel ready to do and excited to do. And actually, my focus and my time needs to be on those things. And listen, this is not something that happens overnight. I remember, I've been making musicals, popular musicals and I get to say that word, which is amazing, but I've been making musicals that have big fan bases for a long time. And so with that comes, abuse isn't the right word, but expectations and a very vocal fandom, as it were. And therefore you have to remember that you don't have to reply to everything. You don't owe anybody anything. And actually, if I don't want to share things online, I don't. And my way of dealing with it is to have a very clear parameter. And if it ever got too much for me, it's gone, because it's not real. The real stuff is the stuff that I'm doing today in rehearsals for the cast change of Heathers. And that's what you have to remember. It's, and in quite a lot of cases, those people that sometimes will say things, perhaps if you were in a room with them, wouldn't, and you just have to keep a really strong sense of self. And it's an ongoing journey. It's a fluid journey. And I don't think anyone ever perfects it. I certainly haven't. There are still days, where I will have the comments and strangers saying things or making an assumption about you or your character. And now I'm older, not too old, but older, you just develop a resilience to it. And I take my job really seriously. Social media, I take less seriously.
Yeah. So, #CheerUpCharlie was born due to the bullying that I suffered for my love of musical theatre, and I'm now lucky to be building a platform which I hope allows children to feel comfortable with what they do, no matter what it is, and who they love, and associate #CheerUpCharlie with acceptance. But I've realised that most bullying behaviour is learned. How, as an industry, can we help to change this negativity?
Oh gosh, Charlie, these are deep, good questions, aren't they? That's a really good question. I think it's really interesting at the moment because we're coming out of a time where there's lots changing in the world in terms of politics, society, and I think actually having the time to stop, which is what we've essentially done for the last couple of years, it's allowed decision makers and people in positions like mine to really think about how we rebuild in a better way and take stock of the world. We're like yourself, we're talking more now and we're sharing things and we're open to share how we feel and all of those things. And I think that can only be a good thing. And I hope that that continues to happen. And like yourself, give people the autonomy to feel like they can talk.
Definitely. So we are in the final stages of #CheerUpCharlie becoming a registered charity. And our plan is that it will help fund grassroots training for those that will never have the opportunity to otherwise sing or dance or act, as well as putting on industry days with professionals so that children see the world of the arts as I do. Do you think this could help bring more kids into not just in front of the cameras, but also amazing jobs behind the scenes too?
I think it's amazing. And just hearing you talk so passionately about it, honestly, makes my heart burst. I think it's crucial. I think anything we can do to wave that flag for people that didn't know the arts was for them, didn't know how to get into the arts, couldn't afford to be in the arts, didn't know what was available to them, and all of the different roles that make up the art, I think is absolutely brilliant. So brilliant. I nearly just swore, but I stopped myself because I remembered how old you are. But I think it's so, so, so wonderful. And I think you're incredible.
Thank you. So if you could give yourself some advice as a child, knowing what you know now as an adult, what would it be? And more importantly, would you actually listen to it?
I would never have listened to myself then. I still don't listen to my own instincts, and I go against my instincts.
I don't think anyone has ever answered with a yes, I would absolutely listen to it.
No, I know I definitely wouldn't. If I could go back to my child self and tell them anything, I'd just be like, relax, it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be absolutely fine. We take ourselves as we're growing up and learning who we are, what we want to do, what we stand for, very seriously. And in hindsight, I look back at my childhood and indeed the early parts of my career, which I believe I'm still in, by the way. And I just chill out. It will all work its way out, and there's going to be lots of good and lots of bad and lots of stuff in the middle. And actually remain true to yourself. Remember why you do what you do. Remember what kind of people you being around brings out the best in you. What kind of work motivates you. And as long as you remember those core things, the things that, like I said, wake you up in the morning, you'll be fine.
That's really good advice. So who was your biggest influence growing up, and are they still your biggest influence today?
My mum. My mum's my biggest influence. I've been very lucky that I've had loads of incredible people that I've worked with, and feel very blessed. But really, the only person's opinion, don't tell my current boss, Bill Kenwright, this, but the only person's opinion that I truly, really care about is my mum. She's my guiding light, and yeah, it makes me emotional even talking about her. She is so passionate and so incredible and resilient, and works so hard to make me the man I am, and I have her to thank for everything. So really, everything I do is for me, but secretly is for her. She's the one person that, if she wasn't happy with me, that would just crumble me.
Yeah. So what do you most get in trouble for off your partner? Mine is asking pointless questions that generally have no answer.
What do I get in trouble for? I'm stubborn, and if someone tells me no, I still do it. I just do my own thing. I'm very independent. No one can tell me. If someone says don't touch that, this is the technician's deodorant, I would touch it. Gets me into all kinds of trouble.
So basically, if they tell you no, it's going to make you do it even more.
Yeah, absolutely that. Yeah, I'm so naughty, and I get distracted easily. I can't focus. I know, and I think because I was saying this to my friend in a cab last night, because now on WhatsApp you can speed up people's voices, and on Netflix you can speed up episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race. When people talk to me in real life now, I'm like, talk faster. And actually I have to remember, no, it's okay to talk at normal speed.
Okay. That's actually one of the most different, because generally it's always things like oh, I talk too much, or it's things like that. That was actually a really different one.
Yeah, no, mine is, yeah, I'm a little bit stubborn.
So what's your most gross habit? Now, come on, Paul. I know you look like Squeaky Queen, but Squeaky Queen.
Oh my goodness. Gross habit. Gross habit. That's really good. I'm not smelly. I'm not dirty. I'm very clean. What do I leave a gross, this isn't gross, but it annoys my housemate. I leave stuff everywhere, like washing up. That's probably as gross as I get. I'm very preened. Like I have to go and have my hair done. I have to go to someone for a shave. So in terms of like personal hygiene, I would say that I'm quite good. My gross habit is probably leaving crap everywhere. Or if you ask the people that work with me, it's replying to emails with yes or no. That's a gross habit. Not giving context, just saying yes or no. And it comes across rude and it's not. It's just because you need to move on quickly. That's gross. You should really give a kiss.
But also, it's an email.
It's an email.
An email is meant to be like long.
I know. I'm not very good at that though. Emails like WhatsApp for me. Yes, no.
So, have you ever like tripped over or like done something really embarrassing at a prestigious event, or got caught, or have you ever seen someone else do that?
Oh, I say stupid things at prestigious events all the time. I trip over all the time. I say inappropriate things all the time on an hourly basis. And I think, do you know what it is? I think sometimes these events have a level of gleam and prestige and actually are quite awkward. And so if I go in there and say silly things, then actually just breaks the ice. And I don't mind being the clown in the room, ever. So I will always say the most inappropriate, silly joke. And I've got quite dad humor. Like my humor is very silly. The dad jokes I love. And I love stupid facts. Like, what do you call a group of pandas? I found out the other day.
What?
An embarrassment. That isn't a joke. That's a real thing.
Right.
Did you know that?
No.
Now you do. Now you do.
Cute. That shouldn't be an embarrassment.
I know, but that's the real. And the other one is I can't remember what it is, but this is your homework. A swarm of bees or wasps, whatever that is, it's a weird word.
Okay.
Put it in the box down here when you find out what it is.
Okay. Do you want me to go find out now?
Go on, why not?
Okay, well, it's a Cora, okay, everybody?
A Cora. Cora.
A hive of wasps, Cora. Text or talk? Text or talk?
Talk.
Wait, or West End?
West End.
Haribo or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Favorite place to eat?
Oh, Nando's.
Nice. Summer or winter?
Summer.
So, I guess that's your time now. So,
yes,
thank you
I'm
so
so
much.
sorry to cut it short. Thank you. You are a superstar. I'm so pleased for you and proud of everything you're doing. Look after yourself. All right.
Yes, you too. Bye.
Bye, Charlie. Bye.
So, what another amazing episode of Musical Chairs with me, Cheer Up Charlie. So, if you want to see more videos like that, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications button. So remember, keep kind to yourself and others, and keep letting your light shine. Bye, guys!